What's up guys, Larry Chen here. We are at a Barrett Jackson auction week in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm here specifically to check out the Future Classics Car Show, FCCS. They actually bring a lot of interesting cars into the show that will become future classics. I'm actually also judging. My category is, I would say, pretty much my favorite car of the show and something that inspires me. This time I chose a couple different cars as my favorites, but of course the winner was a S chassis. Of course, S13 drift car, built really well, painted in his own garage. Super stoked on that, but we also had a chance to feature a couple more cars. I talked to the owners and kind of talked to them about their vision behind their build. So right now we're actually in the auction tent where they have a lot of the auction cars that will be for sale this week. While these auction cars that will be sold this week are interesting, I'm more interested in the home-built cars and the tuner cars. Let's check them out.
Oh, sure.
What's your name?
I'm David Flynn.
David.
David.
Nice to meet you. Your car's
Nice to meet
cool.
you. Thank you.
I like it.
I'm very, very pleased with it.
Yeah, so we're just walking around, you know, Alex and I. Hi, Alex. We were walking around, co-judges, you know, and Dustin was nerding out over this car. And yeah, it's really clean. It's very, very nice. Love S2000s. Love the way they look. Love the way they drive and perform. This is something right out of like Video Option or something, huh?
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I wanted it to look like, you know, kind of the old S2000s that we saw growing up. Like I feel like the old Powerhouse of Muse car. Like
yeah.
The orange Togi Monster.
Love that
thing
car.
Is phenomenal.
Loved playing it in Gran Turismo.
Yep.
そしてこの後ドリドリにとんでもないことが
Yeah. I never had a chance to see that car, and who knows where that thing is now.
Right.
Because I think Amuse doesn't exist anymore, right? Or it's called something else.
I think it's
now.
R1 Titan now.
Yeah.
Or whatever is going on with that legal dispute.
Right. So then, what are we looking at here? You have a real Amuse?
Yeah, this is a Powerhouse of Muse dry carbon Euro or dry carbon hood. It's like one of the original ones before the company split.
No kidding. So, like from what I understand, they probably built some of the lightest S2000s that
Yeah,
were
I think
still
so.
functional.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
then
so this
'cause
hood-
I know the S2000 hood is already really lightweight.
You want to hold it?
It weighs nothing.
Dude, it is. It's like, I think it's 5.5 pounds.
Oh my God, try this, try this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So-
So light.
It was so light, the factory hood latch, when you release it, it would throw it up. And I didn't want any damage to the hood, so I found new springs that had lower tension to accommodate the hood and not forcefully pop it when you let it go.
Yeah, no kidding. This is like the real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not like it's not fiberglass.
No,
It's actually full
it's dry
carbon.
carbon.
Got it.
And so the other one of the things, if you look, when we painted it, because it's all textured, we couldn't get the line straight. So we actually took the hood off, painted it, and had a pinstriper run a bead of black all the way around so that it frames it perfect.
Wow. Okay.
And you really wouldn't notice it unless you point it out, but it looks correct when you're just kind of standing and looking at the car.
Well, the flex is the fact that you painted this hood, right?
Yeah.
Because most people that would have this hood, they would just leave it raw.
Yeah. I don't like the raw carbon look. I mean, I think for especially a car like this that you're just trying to be low-key and simple, I think paint is the way to go. And also, I really like here, I'll show you. The shape of the vent, like coupled with the rest of the car, it's ridiculous.
Yo,
So
looks so good.
So that lip, that's a real Gears lip. As far as I know, there's only 2 left, and I have them both. It took me
Way to hoard it.
It took me over a decade of hunting to find that, and then the other one. So
What's cool about this design is it's basically the flip of the bottom, or at least it's a continuation of this.
yeah,
There's,
and it's subtle enough where if you don't really know, it could pass as like an OEM piece, but it's like slightly aggressive. The exhaust, like if we're talking about Powerhouse and Muse, so the exhaust is a dual Euro Powerhouse and Muse but they put OEM styled tips on it. So if you don't know, it looks like a factory exhaust.
Oh. And this is lightweight too then,
Yeah,
huh?
it's all titanium. It's whatever, their regular Euros are gonna run. I think they're like 16, 18 pounds or something like that.
So cool. The welds are incredible.
And
So have you driven this in anger at all yet?
a little bit, not too much.
That's probably why it hasn't really
Yeah, it
glued.
hasn't fully bed in with all the colors. So I had another on my CR. I had the 70 millimeter Euro, and that was driven a lot harder, and that it turned just beautiful purple and blue all around. It was awesome.
Do you still have a CR?
No, I sold it. I got something else.
Oh, okay.
I got a couple 981 Spiders instead.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the CR has gone up in price so much. You want to talk about a future classic? That is a future classic.
I know, but my heart is on the AP1.
Yeah.
This is a car that I have. I love red, and you can't get the CR in red, and I really like the simplicity and the elegant look of the AP1.
Yeah.
And so when it was time, I decided to sell that and
So let's
and move on
do
to
the
Spider.
rest of the walk around from the outside, and then we'll talk about the engine bay.
Okay.
'Cause there's a lot of goodies there. Endless brakes, very JDM of you.
it was the only brake that I could find that fit, I thought, the look of the car and the style of what I was after. I work with one of my buddies to try and go through all the different options available. What I really wanted was a working e-brake, a full matching front and rear kit. But after not being able to find anything that fit that, this was the kit. There was really nothing else that was on the market that I could find that came in a monoblock caliper that looked like this, that fit properly. And according to all the different spreadsheets and information out there, it looks like this is the one that retains the most factory bias. So I had new rear calipers to go along with it. I painted them to match, and then the endless rotors and pads and lines, your front and rear as well, so that everything looks cohesive and like it belongs.
Yeah, it looks great. Love the CE28s.
Yeah, the CEs in the titanium silver, when the sun hits the car and it's that bright gloss red with the flat bright silver, I can't get enough of it.
It really is an improvement on the stock wheels. And I also love the fact that it's super functional and that you didn't go too big, right? And there's just so much meat left.
Yeah, so these are actually, they're 9.5 plus 47s all around. It's non-staggered, and then it has a upper control arm offset bushing to pull the wheel in. And then every suspension component on the car has been pulled, blasted, painted, Mugen bushings everywhere, top to bottom. And then when it got put back together, every single nut, bolt, boot, and clip is brand new from Honda. So I just went down the list, laid all the parts out, and these are the bags, open it up and put it in. The underside of the car is as clean as this.
Incredible. I can't believe you've done this. So what is this for? Are you actually going to take it out to the track, or are you just going to drive it, enjoy
Honestly,
it?
I think at this point there's too much into it to risk it on the racetrack. I just love S2000s.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a passion project. It's all the stuff that I wanted when I was a kid, and I've been hoarding forever.
So then a couple other things. Hardtop.
Yep.
This is
It's a factory OEM
factory
top.
one. Got it. Factory hardtop. It's too bad that it never came as a hardtop.
I know.
That would be super cool.
To be honest, the cars are a lot more fun as a convertible, but they look better with the roof.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks great.
I love it.
And then what about the interior?
So the interiors were a set of pole position ABEs that I had to import. They got a little bit wider of a floor pan or seat pan on the seat. And then they're more built to be a street car seat rather than the regular FIA pole positions. So they have the big provisions for the seat belts and all of the harnesses there. And then I typically always have a plaid shirt on.
Yeah.
So I thought that I could add a little splash of color by finding a plaid pattern that kind of matched the car and went with everything. And so I ended up with the VW tartan material.
Looks great.
And I feel like it's just enough to add a little bit of color and a little bit of style, but not enough to be obnoxious and not look like it should be there.
Plus, this material is great because it's probably made to withstand a lot of wear and tear versus actual tartan material. Huh. All right, can we take a look at the engine bay?
Of course.
This engine bay is so clean. I just can't believe.
You wanna
Oh,
open
so
it?
this
Go
is
ahead.
what you're talking about. Otherwise,
Yep.
if you had the stock spring, it would probably like
Yeah, it
shoot
throws
up.
a lot harder when you do it.
Jajajan. That's what they're supposed to say, right? All right, so what are we looking at here? There's a lot of goodies. One of the things that you mentioned before we started rolling, ITBs.
Yep, it has the Toda individual throttle bodies under here, the 88 millimeter trumpets. It has the Toda idle air control. I think they call it the ISCV system. And so initially this piece it's part of the K series package. And so they give it to you with some zip ties, and they want you to zip tie it down on some of those arms. So I had Origin Fabrication in Georgia took this and modified it so that we could hard mount it here, built me all of this custom stuff here. So the actual ICV sensor is hidden back here, and then there's a line off of this to run map. So we're running ICV and map off of this line, and then there's a second vacuum system under here that powers the brake booster. And then to handle all of this and to keep it clean, the entire fuel system in the car has been ripped out. I'm running a fuel basket from an 06 Plus drive-by-wire because it has a built-in fuel pressure regulator. So then it's just a returnless fuel now. And so there's no return line. I don't need to plumb a fuel pressure regulator. I don't need vacuum for it, and I can make all that go away. Just to keep it clean and simple, and just simplify the car as much as possible so that it all just looks like it all belongs.
Did you crack the motor or did you rebuild the motor at all?
Nope, so it's a factory motor. The car only has 50,000 miles on it. At home, I have the Toda spec B cams and all the Toda valve train to go on. But this car just got done in January, so I kind of want to enjoy it and then, have it all redone. From there, Origin also built me this intake arm here, and then there's an IAT sensor is under here. That's all incorporated into that. And then this is just a regular Mugen intake.
Regular Mugen intake.
There's nothing modified on it yet.
This is gonna sound good though, huh? This is gonna sound insane. So
it does not sound like what you think it does. That Toda box absorbed, it sounds like a factory car right now. If you take the box off, you get the normal ITB noise that you would expect, but with that box on, it is hilariously quiet.
Amazing. So cool. I love it.
And then Origin also did the radiator for me. And then to keep everything clean, I had a harness built. So there's a full brand new harness on the car that incorporates all of the new sensors. Like over there's the oil pressure and temp sensor. And I was gonna try and hide it, but it felt like mounting things like that so you could see it. I mean, the car is a street car. I'm not trying to tuck the engine bay away. I think it looks correct like this.
I love it. So what kind of suspension are you running?
It's the Öhlins DFVs.
Of course you're running Öhlins.
They have the upgraded springs, and then they have one of the other companies. I want to say it's Saki Bomb Garage has lower forks in the rear, just because we don't have a lot of travel, and with the way the Öhlins designed it, so they made longer forks that you can spin up and get all that room back on the rear.
This is so cool. You really threw all the parts at this thing.
This car it's basically my wish list of all of the craziest JDM stuff that you could find. It's
awesome.
I think it's without going overboard. It's just enough. The headlights are from the 02, 03 Japanese cars. So they're the chrome projector housings rather than just having the normal ones are black with just the white diffuser, and then the 02s, 03s have the chrome housing, but that matches the Japanese emblems from the time. It matches my wheels. It matches the badges if they ever go back on the side of the car.
So then, did you just paint the hood and the lip?
No.
Or you repainted the whole thing?
No. So I have this lip. I have the second one of these. I have a bunch of spare OE. I plan to keep the car for my lifetime, so I have spares just in case I need it. But what I ended up doing was this bumper is specific for these. So this initial lip here, when they sold it initially, it came with a metal tab that you would bend around and screw into the bumper. When you did that once or twice, those tabs would snap off and they would it looked like hell and you'd have to rebuild it. So what we did was I worked with the body shop to come up with a better solution. So similar to the way the CR lips mounts on the A2, we added studs here and then slotted the bumper under here. So the sides of the lip actually mount up against the face, and then it mounts across the bottom. So this bumper is unique to the Gears lips and the spare that I have. And then I have the factory bumper with those lips.
God,
And
so you
all-
bought another bumper just for that.
and, well, when I bought this lip here, it was yellow and came with this bumper. I didn't know that this lip was real. I found it on a Japanese auction site for an auto dismantler. And they were selling the bumper with the lip and they didn't know what they had. And I think the bumper was like $100, but the shipping, I didn't know at the time it was only air freight. So I got hit with a $1,200 shipping bill. But I got it, pulled the paint off of it, realized it was real, and then, ended up using it for this. So
This is a Honda guy thing, like buying things for other parts, right? I mean,
Right.
from what I can tell, at least, like a lot of my buddies, actually a buddy of mine, he bought, I think, a whole Civic just for the ducktail or the wing,
Yep.
and then it's like, all right, now I have a car, I gotta get rid of this car, but I got the wing at
Right.
least, That's so cool. I love that.
but to get back to your question, when I painted it, we had this bumper, the bumper for the OEM lip, all of the spare lips, this hood, and the fenders were all done at the same time. So if I ever have a problem, it all matches. And so it was painted, to here, whatever, and then they just blended it out.
It looks great. I mean, you can't tell at all.
No.
It's like glass.
I was very adamant that the paint matched perfectly. I'm far too particular for it to,
To me, it's super cool that you went to all this effort just for it to look subtle. For normal people not to
Right.
know, and they just look at it and, oh, it's a stock S2000 with some wheels.
Right.
Or maybe they don't even notice the wheels, because I feel like they're pretty similar to the stock wheels
Yeah.
from afar for somebody who's not really into these cars.
Yes.
But then when you really dive into it, man, there's just so much to uncover, and I love that. So much.
That's one of the things I was worried about. I feel like the car is subtle enough where if you're not into the platform itself, like you said, it looks like a car with wheels.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. All right, cool. We're gonna keep going.
Okay.
Sorry for taking up all your time.
No, thank you very much.
We're,
It was
we're
awesome
gonna
to
check
meet
out
you.
some more cars, but yeah, no, nice to meet you. Beautiful build. I love it.
Thank you.
We're judging. We're judging now. We got Dennis in his amazing RX-2. We spotted it right away when you came in. This thing is so cool.
Thank you.
But one thing I spotted also right away is that you have RX-8 seats in it instead of the stockies. I'm actually really surprised how well they fit.
Yeah. And did you look at the back seat?
No, what's
So
the
I
back
bought
seat?
a pair of RX-8 back seats, and I had them take the material off and fuse it into the bench seat.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the Resto Mod look. I also love the fact that you left a lot of things original inside. Were you able to save a lot of this stuff, or is this a lot of stuff that you had to buy new, old stock?
Everything you see on the inside for the interior was original to the car. So the dash pad, I had to make a new fiberglass dash pad, to get reupholstered and that because I couldn't.
Yeah, like this?
Yeah, I couldn't save the original one. I tried, but
How long have you had this car?
I've had it for about 18 years.
Oh,
I found it
it's
out-
been a long project then for you.
It has. The good thing was it had good bones. I mean, all the emblems, trim was all original to the car. Mm-hmm. So
It looks great. The paint is amazing. So how long ago did you paint this?
I took it in November, just before COVID hit. Yeah, so it took about 8 months to get it back. Yeah.
Huh. And then the engine, how was the original engine?
Well, when I got the car, it didn't have a motor and transmission.
Oh, okay, so you just got it as a rolling chassis?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then tell me about this motor.
Well, this is a 13B. It's a 1974 motor, and I found it off of eBay, and it was listed as a hovercraft motor.
I mean, I guess you could use it as a hovercraft motor.
Yeah, but when I got the motor, it was completely bone stock, had never been opened up. I ran it for a few years. When I got the car, it took me about 4 years just to get it on the road because I had to source engine, transmission, hood, a couple other front valance and that. But it had been sitting out in Buckeye in a field, on a farm field, for like, I don't know, 10 or 12 years and that. So I had to go through all the suspension and, rebuild the, brake cylinders and convert the McPherson struts and stuff. So it was just getting it mechanically ready to get it back on the road.
Yeah, but why this car?
Well, back in the old days, or for me, I used to build off-road cars, and I worked for a factory Mazda off-road team.
Oh.
And we did the Mickey Thompson Stadium trucks.
Got it.
So we were sponsored by Mazda, so I was a little bit familiar with the rotaries and that, and I always loved, the sound of the rotaries and that, and so when I found this car, I have another car that I restored in 1995. It's a 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. So I got a muscle car, and I also got the Japanese little muscle car.
I love it.
Yeah.
So cool.
So yeah, I got the Mazda rotary bug from building off-road stuff.
Yeah, because it would probably be too easy for you to stick any other motor in this, especially because it didn't come with one. But you being a rotary head, you wanted to keep it rotary and keep it somewhat authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this probably makes, what, double the horsepower this thing had originally?
I would say it's probably maybe not quite double.
But a lot more.
A lot more, yeah. So I ran it for about, 4 or 5 years and that, and then it started having some heating issues and that, so I took the motor out, sent it to Mazda Tricks to do the motor, so they did a street port on it.
Yeah, Mr. Lemon, right?
Yeah.
David Lemon. Cool,
Yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah.
Very cool. Well,
Then
thanks for showing us your car.
Yeah.
This thing is super cool. Here's all the specs, right? So owner, Dennis Ray. Very cool.
Yeah, a lot of years of just searching eBay for little parts here and there, so in my write-up I said like 15 years of collecting parts for it before I actually took it apart to get it painted and do the full-on restoration.
Is that the original VIN plate?
It's not the original, but it's a reproduction.
It looks really clean. Looks great.
Yeah, so there's a lot of original parts.
Only in Japan. That's super cool.
Like this
Cool.
overflow bottle. I actually found this on eBay. It's an original replacement one. It came in the original box. Somebody had it on the shelf, and the box was so deteriorated, if you took your finger and flicked it, the box just fell apart. And there was another guy that was trying to bid on that, and he emailed me after I won the auction, and he said, "Hey, was that the real deal?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was 100% real."
Yeah.
It was a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, how many are left in the world? Who knows? Maybe that might be the last one.
I've never seen another one come across eBay.
That's super cool. All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we've moved on to BMWs. Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
What's your name?
Mark.
Mark. Nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
Larry.
to meet you.
Let's talk about your car.
All right, what do you want to know?
So basically, I was walking the show, and then Tyler over here was yelling at me. He's like, "Hey, check out this 3 Series. It's so cool. It's everything that's good about this car. You got to look at it." So tell me about it. I don't know too much about Racing Dynamics. What do we have here?
So
What is this?
Racing Dynamics was founded in Italy as kind of an Italian competitor to Alpina, which most people know, and Hartka, which are the German tuning companies. This particular car is serial number 1 from Racing Dynamics. So, Alpina serial numbers their cars from the BMW VINs. Racing Dynamics did the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And
And
so this-
is there like a plaque or something?
There is. It's on the dash, underneath
Serial
the dash.
number 1?
Yeah. So you can see right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
What?
And basically, it was a poster child for the Racing Dynamics catalog of the vintage. So everything's been done to this car. It started as a standard 325i. They punched out the motor to 3 liters. They put lightened pistons, rods, crankshaft, all that. Put on a header, full header back exhaust. Did the suspension, 18-inch wheels, which for 1995 were pretty large.
Yeah.
They did a few little tuning in the interior just to dress it up.
Brembo brakes, do they do
Brembo
that?
brakes all around. That was part of the deal, both front and rear, which again is kind of a big deal for the vintage.
So then how much more power did this make versus stock?
So the stock motor was like 180, I think. This motor is 255 horsepower, which is a little more than the US spec E36 M3. And some people told me that BMW M may have copied the crankshaft profile from this car to make the E36 M3 for the US spec motor.
Interesting. So 1995.
Yeah, 95.
And it's called a K30.4?
Yep. Don't ask me why it's a K30.4. I can only guess that 3.0 is the displacement and 0.4 is 4 valves per cylinder.
So it makes me wonder, why did they choose a convertible?
Good question. I don't know. I do not know.
And is this a removable hardtop
It
then?
is. It is.
So
yeah.
you have to store this?
So you can store it when you want to use the convertible, when you want to fold it down.
It still has the convertible
Oh, yeah.
soft top in it.
Yeah, it still has a soft top underneath the rear deck there. This particular car, because it was serial number 1, you zoomed in on the articles here. It was featured in Motor Trend magazine, as well as European Car magazine back in the mid-90s.
It's interesting to me that they also chose a black car because it's so subtle, you know, it's not flashy at all.
Exactly.
Like you said, it has everything. It has the exhaust.
Yep. Everything's branded. Even the aero kit, has embossed Racing Dynamics logos.
So have you done anything to it since you got it? Did you restore anything?
I have not done anything. This car has 26,000 miles. I've put 4,000 of those on it in the last year. The
That's
word
pretty
is
cool.
that the guy that had it, one of the second owner, actually couldn't get it certified for smog in California, so he parked it in his garage for 12 years, which explains the low mileage. And if you look at the Carfax, it corroborates that.
So was this an original US car then?
Yeah, yeah. US spec, US VIN, was just, like I said, the poster child for everything in the Racing Dynamics catalog.
So cool. Well, thank you for showing us your car. It's super cool. I love it. Oh my God! Is this the real deal?
This is my actual dream car.
This is the SMZ, dude. Steve Millen. Steve Millen in the house right now. SMZ.
Wow, I saw the wheels for a moment. Like, picture these wheels right here. I saw those for just a quick second. I was like, hold on. That's a SMZ.
SMZ.
Wow.
Steve Millen. Woo! So sick.
Shout out, Bueller.
So sick. My boy Steve over here building all these awesome cars. Number 13 out of all Steve Millen's. That is so cool. I love, oh, this guy's all into it, dude. Turbo ZX is his plate. Steve Millen's. That, how cool is that? It just looks so good. Of course, it's next to a Supra. Same era. I said I was gonna just feature 5 cars at this show, and I lied because I saw a Steve Millen Z, and then the owner's right here, and he's really excited about it. How are you, sir?
I'm great, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Randy Copel.
Randy, you know how special this thing is. We know how special this thing is. We damn near stopped in our tracks when we saw this thing. Tyler, are you gonna cry right now, dude?
I almost cried, actually.
Tyler's excited about this. So what's the story behind this SMZ?
So I searched for 20 years for one of these. My dad actually owns a Nissan store, and when I was 21, when these cars came out, he had a white one on the showroom floor. I said, Dad, I'm making, I'm working this work for my dad in search parts, so that I couldn't finance this car and afford it. We sell it to me. He goes, no, we're gonna get way over sticker for it. I was like, it's my dream car. So he's like, no. So he didn't sell me the car, and I've been wanting one for literally ever since I was 18, and I'm 48 now, so I've really been looking for one for 20 years, and this is the first one I found I popped up for sale, and it happened to be a great color, miles, condition, so I jumped on it, and I just bought it about 7 or 8 months ago, and I love this thing. I'm so excited to have it.
So how many did Steve actually make?
They supposedly made 52.
Okay.
This is the number 13. It's the first one available to the public.
What? Okay, so we've seen only one. Tyler and I actually went to Nissan in Tennessee, and they have a black one in their collection, but it's automatic.
Yeah, they did make some automatics.
Yes. So
still is a green one. They still own. So the first 10, 12 went to Nissan, Stillen, and whoever else. This is the first publicly available one.
This is cool because is this a U.S. only thing?
Yes, Stillen was based in, I was in Costa Mesa, so yeah, no, it was a U.S. only, and it sold through the Nissan dealers with a warranty.
It's so crazy. I mean, talk about ahead of its time, right?
Very much so ahead of its time. I mean, it's got different, what's unique, even today, you don't see many cars, but it's got 17s and 18s. And 18s back in 95.
The staggered, just so cool. And this came with a lot more power too than stock.
65 more horsepower over stock. So it came with 365 versus 300. This one has a bigger intercooler. It's got the boost cranked up a little. It's got a boost controller. So it's probably pushing just over, 420 at the motor.
But that much from factory back then in a rear-wheel drive car with no traction control, it's got to just be so hairy.
Yeah, it's not. Well, compared to some of the stuff out today, I have cars that are 800, 900, 1,000 horsepower now. Those are hairy. This with 400 horse, it'll smoke the tires to first, second, which is great. It's fun. And back in the day, that was really fast. I went for a ride in a heavily modified 300ZX back in the day, and it blew my mind. It had everything. It was like a stage 7 HKS car, and I was like, wow, I want one a modified Z one day.
Can we take a look at the engine bay?
Absolutely.
So then let's go over what came special on the SMZ. What's special about this?
Well, it's got the boost cranked. I mean, as far as the motor, I think it just has the boost cranked up. The ECU's just tuned. I don't think it's much.
There you go. Steve Millen design, Costa Mesa,
The cool
California.
stuff is not really the horsepower.
Yeah, the cool stuff is
it's the body
aero.
kit,
Yep.
the aero kit. It's got GTR R33 brakes, calipers, and rotors front and rear. It's got different. It's got Stillen specific rate springs, so it's lowered. It's got 17H. These are Yokohama wheels.
Oh.
So they're actually manufactured by Yokohama.
Oh.
The coolest thing that I think of all things in this car for features is the carbon fiber interior trim.
Yeah.
95, you're talking F40 style stuff. Like no cars are carbon fiber.
Yeah.
This has got the little door window switches. It's got around the radio, the shifter knob.
It's just so funny to me because like these plates and stuff, it looks like something that you would get
At a trophy shop.
Yeah, at a trophy shop. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Incredible. I love it. All this stuff was carbon fiber. Jeez.
Yeah,
and the floor mats too?
I'm not sure. So they came in a box. Those are Lloyd's mats. I'm not sure if the guy had them made because I got them and had just stock the 300ZX mats in it. So I put, they're slight shade off. I wanted the SMZ mats.
This is just.
I actually went to put the SMZ sticker on the windshield and it didn't take. It was too old. So I didn't put it. But it's got the little window,
I love it. I love
window
it.
stickers.
And then so the
It's got
rear.
the exhaust, the rear valence.
Rear valence.
It's a Stillen
that's special.
catback exhaust.
And
It's got
the wing.
emblems, the wing.
Wing is
the
different.
side skirts.
It's the little things, man. I love it. So cool.
Then obviously
even the
gauges are
gauges,
aftermarket.
there's like a little bit of a SMZ there. All the things to remind you that you're driving something special. So, do you remember back then how much it was on the showroom floor at your dad's dealership?
I want to say they were somewhere, there was mid-50s. Like
And-
55, 56,000. A stock one was about 40, so it was like 15 grand over a stock one.
That's a lot.
Or maybe it was close to 60,000. It possibly could have been a high of 65, somewhere between 55 and 65 back in 95. But as you know, the price kept going up as they got newer, and that's why they sold less and less and less. And eventually they cut it off in 96 because they got too expensive, and the exchange rates made these cars,
Yeah.
the import taxes.
It's just so interesting to me because, as you know, Nissan rebuilt a bunch of 240Zs, right? Back
Right.
in the 90s. They couldn't sell them, and they were sold as new with warranty, similar to this. They couldn't even sell them.
It was too new at the time. It was too close to. It was just it was an old car. 'Cause
Right.
The newer stuff kept coming out, and it takes a while for them to really.
And then this too, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you get it for on Bring a Trailer?
I paid with the buy fee it was 85,000.
And I'm sure this has gone up in price. It's got
I
it.
think I stole it. I was ready to go to 130 or 140 because the week before a really low mileage stock yellow car brought 140, and you've seen really low mileage cars now 91 2s and 3s brings 50, 60. This is a 95, so just a 95 with 35,000 miles is probably stock probably worth in the 50s, 60s, and then You know, and
This
it's an
being-
SMZ and
Yeah.
it's priceless because they just don't come up for sale.
Ugh,
oh, I had
so
to have.
cool.
This is a must.
I love it. I love it. I love it, especially because you have quite the car collection, and this thing is something that you're excited about.
Absolutely. I've been wanting for 20. I wanted when I was a kid. My dad went and sold me, and he had a brand new white one on the showroom floor, and I was like, "This is great." I was like, I could finance it. I did all the calculations. It's like, it's like $800 a month. I can afford that. I just won't eat.
Yeah. Cup of noodles.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Very cool. All right. So we're gonna shoot more than 5 cars, but this is super cool. All right, on to the next one. Of course, I'm gonna gravitate toward an S chassis here at the Future Classics Car Show. This is quite the build. This is amazing. So we got
Something
Joseph
like
here, and Joseph, you guys have actually seen his work. He's actually done a couple valve covers for Adam LZ,
Couple.
right? So actually one of the white ones that we actually featured of Adam's of his Chaser. So you actually did the valve cover on that.
Yeah, and I actually did polish all the stuff on that engine build as well.
So did he reach out to you, or how did it work
so
out?
the first time, it was the 3 transition color one that I did. It was an S13 cover, but I matched the colors of his S15. When that one got shared by him, that's what sparked more and more to come. And then he messaged me out of nowhere. He was like, "Hey, I'm building this 2J Chaser." I'm like, "Okay, I want you to paint another one for me." I was like, "Oh, let's do it." Like, he's a big name and one of the biggest car guy YouTubers, so of course I was like, "Hell yeah, I want to do it."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're local to here?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
in Arizona.
I'm in Phoenix.
Okay. You're a S chassis guy, car
Oh, yeah.
guy. This is your build.
Yes. So it's a 1JZ out of a JZX 100, fully polished everything. I just actually did a new turbo setup. So it's a G30 Garrett, Turbo Smart Wastegate, custom manifold by D-Style out in, I think he's up in like Chicago area. So it's a V-band. It sounds crazy compared to the stock setup, but I'm a prime believer of drift cars should look like a show car. So I had to ice everything out.
Yeah. So this is like your style. You
Oh,
actually
yeah.
did all of this yourself.
I didn't do the engraving,
Uh-huh.
but I did all the polishing work. Engraving, that is another art. I don't know how people do that, because that's all hand chiseled out by hand. Like, it's insane how people do that. Like, I've seen videos of people doing that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, I thought it would, like, I barely have the patience to do stuff like this, because all the paint work's done by me.
Yeah. So you paint valve covers, you paint cars, but you also do this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
the lowrider stuff is my, like,
so do you actually paint lowriders?
I've done one, but no one's really hit me up because they always just think it's like a rice rocket style. But I'm like, once they see the car, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, give me your information. You actually know what you're talking about."
So
So,
where do you paint this stuff? Do you paint this in your garage, or?
yeah. So full-time job, I'm a body tech, so I fix cars, like actual big structural collision stuff. I like that stuff more. I was painting full-time, but I switched back to body. And one of the biggest reasons was I was starting to hate painting because I was painting full-time all day, and then I'd go home and paint more. So I was like, you know what? I want to leave paint for a hobby. So I go home after work, even though I'm working like 10, 12-hour shifts, still painting. I'm still working. I'm always working.
And you did all this pinstriping yourself?
The pinstriping, Bugs did that.
Okay.
But all the paint work, I did all that.
Right. So the layers and
Oh, yeah,
everything,
yeah.
like, because you have to do it layer by layer.
So it always starts as silver flake and then sand it down and do all the pattern. You go up by there. So you do all your shadows and then you do all your candy colors. It's a long process. So this was like a full day, and then plus all the pinstriping, all the gold. You can see it way better on the other side with the
right.
sun.
Let me look at it. So, because you have to actually use like cloth or something for
Oh,
this
yeah.
texture. Is that
So-
how you do it?
So some people use lace, some people use stencils. So like all this right here, that's all stencil work. So it's not the hardest, you shadow in. If you like take a step back and look at it as you're layering, it's not as hard as you think. It's the time that takes a while. Letting things flash over, letting things dry, making sure you don't jump back into it too soon or it's gonna wrinkle, it's gonna react. And then the car itself, it's just black, but with discontinued blue sapphire crushed glass.
And you actually painted this too?
Everything on the car is all painted by me. I painted the cage. Someone did the cage, but I painted it, of course. All the polish work on the engine bay, I did it. All the wheels, suspension, everything's been done by me.
So this is actually a drift car. You actually
Oh yeah,
drift it.
so I drift with like pretty known people, which is really cool. Like, so I have a few photos with like Rad Dan and Forrest Wang, and I'm like, to see a car like this being drifted and followed by cars like that, it's a really cool feeling. That's what I built it for. I had at least like 6 people already come up to me like, wait, this is a track car? I'm like, oh yeah. Like, that's what I built it for.
Yeah.
Like, it's full drift suspension.
It looks so good.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I love it. So then what kind of wheels are these?
So these are Garcia Ruggies. They're very, very, very rare. And the fact that they're still 4-lug, it's even rarer. So most people convert to 5-lug because they never find wheels that are cool. Before this, I had SSR Professors, and I was like, I don't need to go 5-lug to have cool wheels. There's so many people with 5-lug that still are not even cool wheels. I'm like, what's your excuse now? I'm still on badass wheels, even on 4-lug.
It looks great. So how long did it take for you to get to this point?
I've had the car for 7 years now. First, I was all white. I had a Type X front on it, but it was full Type X aero with some Serbs. And then I was like, all right, I want to go aggressive. Finally found a Works 9 kit. The Works 9 kit, it's the only other person who really has it is Simba out from Final Bout.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want this kit. I found it. Then I found the B&S Sports hood, found the Origin fenders. Little things that I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do it, I wanna do it correctly. I didn't wanna look like every other S chassis. I wanted mine to stand out.
It looks amazing. I just love the lowrider touches that you've put on it, like this rear deck.
Had literally a guy that is nothing but lowriders. Like, that's what he does. I hit him up and I'm like, can you do that for me? He was like, cool. The only thing he hated was he was this big guy and he couldn't fit through the back of the cage to make he had to make like a sample piece to pop it out and lay it over that.
Got it.
So he was like, yeah, I don't want to do a drift car ever again. And then the plaque, of course, I got to do that.
Yeah, it looks super cool.
Oh yeah, so that's the brand, the logo.
Established 2018. So good. I love the pinstriping. I love the design.
That was the key feature where I was like, that's gonna tie everything in together, and it did. I was very happy how it came out. Bugs is phenomenal when it comes to pinstriping. He's one of the best. Probably is the best.
It's just incredible. I mean, the design, it's a work of art by itself right here.
Thank you.
Just right here.
Oh yeah.
So then that's like flake that they...
No, that's gold leaf.
Oh, that's actual gold leaf.
Yeah, that's gold leaf. So you basically put like sticky resin. You tape off where you don't want the sticky resin. You lay the sticky resin in. You gotta let it tack up a little bit, and then you lay the foil in, roll it down, and then when you brush it off, it's only gonna stick to what you put the stickiness to.
And then is there a clear over it?
Yep.
Or?
So you put clear over it so it doesn't fail or anything.
Got it.
But all you do is like stripe over clear. You don't gotta some people respray it. You don't have to. That's why you fill it on the outside. It just depends how you want to go with it. Considering that I did everything beforehand already, I was like, I don't want to re-clear this. I'm just going to do everything on top. It's hardened, so I've washed it many times. It won't come off unless you scrub it with like lacquer thinner, which there's no reason why I would do that.
Looks great. Dude, thank you so much for showing me your car.
Thanks, dude.
Amazing.
I appreciate it.
Love it. All right. Oh my God! What's up? Look who it is! My best bud and spotter, Fielding Shredder.
How you doing?
It's so good to see you.
You too, absolutely.
And now you're driving a GR Supra.
2023, baby. It's manual.
This is so cool. So I actually had a chance to drift this at Utah Motorsport Campus. This exact color and interior and manual.
Nice. Very nice.
But of course, you're a lot better driver than me.
Well, I'm just more experienced. I'm not better. I've just done it.
Cool. All right, let's see what this can do.
All right, you ready to rip?
Yep, here we go. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah, I gotta put on the tire. No problem. Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah.
For a stock vehicle, this thing is awesome.
I love
and
it.
of course, it's always good to see you.
You too.
Yeah.
This thing rips, dude. I'm so impressed.
Dude,
This
for
car
a
is
stock car,
awesome.
this is the one.
Completely bone stock. I'm out here just shredding the course for I did 400 laps yesterday.
Dude. So these guys are doing 20,000 laps over 10 days,
Yeah.
which means Fielding personally has to do 500 per day, right?
day,
At
yeah.
least. So you're gonna make up today.
Yeah. Well, we have 5 drivers, so you divide it out, about 400 to 500 per person. Yeah. So
Cool. Awesome.
it's a good deal.
Cool. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
All right, so we are in the TRD Pro Tundra. That is the one that has a hybrid assist, right?
Yep, 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo.
Yep. So we've actually taken this quite a few miles. We've driven 3,000 miles all the way from Los Angeles all the way to Pikes Peak and all around. And this thing is pretty capable. It's a lot of fun. We may or may not have raced a BMW M1M in it. Same color. And we did a couple pulls and it was a lot of fun. And it held its own for it being a pickup truck. I think it did pretty good. Oh, drifting. Oh. Jumping. Whoa. Whoa.
You didn't tell us that was about to happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, all right. Got a little rallycross course here. Oh, and we're gonna hit a bank. That's awesome. Oh, this is crazy. Thanks, Toyota.
I think you have a better one than Nick.
Yeah, this is
more
awesome. Okay, and we're doing a little jump here. Okay, all right. Get a little air.
I
Whoa!
was not ready for that.
No, that's awesome. That is legit. All right, and
That's our little dirt ride.
Wicked.
when's
How many times have you done that today?
Oh, I've probably done 300 laps today.
oh
Today?
300.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so it's our turn now. 1 lap each.
Whoever catches the most there wins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wins what though? In like broken parts or?
This thing is
The
super
honor
cool.
of being able to say that you caught the most air.
I love that.
Worth it.
Well, this is fun. Look, we got a full car too.
That was great. Yes.
Okay, seatbelts on. Now we are in a 4Runner TRD Pro. We're gonna go for the off-road course. There is some banked corners and then there's a jump that we have seen in the Tundra, which was great. But let's see how this one takes it. I do see traction control, everything is off, which is good for sliding, but it's still in rear-wheel drive, right?
That's right. 2-wheel drive high,
2-wheel drive high.
rear only. All right, ready?
Okay, here we go. Get it. Oh, downshift. Full throttle. Yes. Whipping it in. Nice. 1-wheel peel. Oh, nice. Nice.
It's a little silty.
Yeah, a little improv. Berm action here. Getting ready for the big jump.
We actually had airtime.
Wow.
I lost some stuff.
Okay, that was actually airtime.
We actually.
That was
real airtime.
incredible. Okay, so this jump's the best then.
Yes.
Yes.
This jump's the best because the weight is a lot.
And I think it has more travel.
Wow, that was actually air, dude.
That was all
That was air.
I lost the keys to the car. My hat fell off.
Nice.
My hat fell off.
And the funny thing is, you guys back there, you guys had the effect more.
For sure.
Because it probably bucked a little bit.
That was definitely an experience.
That was cool. That was a lot
I
of
never
fun.
expected to be like 4 wheels up.
That was awesome.
All 4 wheels were in there. Oh yeah.
You didn't even spill your coffee.
I drink it all already.
Okay, all right.
That was smart.
That was a good idea.
Wearing it. Otherwise.
we're getting all sorts of fun experiences here at Barrett Jackson.
I'm glad we went for another ride.
Yeah, that was good. Cool. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was great. All right. Okay. So, introduce yourself. What's your name?
I'm Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn just came up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to hear my car start?" I'm like, "All right, sure." You piqued my interest, and he says his car makes 1,000 wheel horsepower. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's right here.
This one.
Yeah.
This makes 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. So this has a precision turbo, 6870, and it's a IAG long block, so completely built bottom land, and it makes 45 psi boost. Yeah.
He's doing a good job cooling it.
I'm blown away, dude.
So it's an entire, pretty much the whole ETS kit. You know, the whole bill was, this car was college, outside of college. I was like, you know what, I want to go above and beyond what a Subaru is, and let's see where it takes me,
1,000 horsepower. Okay. And it's to all four wheels. It's still all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
How the heck? So the transmission must be super built then, huh?
No, stock drivetrain. Yeah, it handles it really well. One thing about Subaru is people don't realize is the engine might be weak, but the drivetrain is super bulletproof. I mean, I bang gear, this thing revs out to 8,500 RPM, and top end is crazy, so it's a good car.
Okay, all right, let's hear this thing. Yeah, I'm ready. Ow. What? Look at his smile, dude. He's so happy.
Pretty crazy.
Yo. 45 pounds.
Yeah, a boost.
So then
It has 2,600 cc injectors, so when it's full, it idles really weird.
what do you do with it then?
What I do with it? I mean, it's a street car, so it's pretty crazy.
This is so cool, dude.
Yeah.
1,000. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.